Everyone, Ed Bates again from Kilworth Chiropractic Clinic, and welcome to another of today's daily doses. And I want to start today's daily dose with a question. Why is it that two people living under the same roof, eating the same diet, doing similar jobs with the same stress, can have such different expressions of health? In other words, why is it that one can become sick and the other stays well? Well, through years of asking this question, the chiropractic profession is, or at least I think, we have a pretty good understanding as to why exactly that is, and therefore why chiropractic should be part of everyone's health strategy. Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying that chiropractic fixes or cures disease. It doesn't, because we all know that the only person who can do the healing is the person themselves. However, the chiropractic's view, i.e. an inside-out view of healing, is in stark contrast to conventional Western medicine's belief that your genes hold the answer to our initial question. In other words, conventional medicine strongly believes that your genes act as a blueprint for your cells and thus are responsible for the character and complexity of the human body. And this erroneous belief still remains, despite the fact that there's some fantastic research that has been done of the past 10 to 20 years has clearly shown us that our genes actually have a very minor role in the expressions of health. And one piece of groundbreaking research was the Human Genome Project. Now, I say groundbreaking, which it certainly was, but just not in the way the scientists had initially predicted. Basically, the scientists set out to discover all the genes responsible for all the conditions of man. And what they thought was if they could find the genes that made man sick, they could delete them or remove them and therefore eradicate disease. Now, on the surface, that sounded like a brilliant idea. And thus, according to their theory, they expected to discover about 120,000 different genes for each of the different proteins in the body. Well, imagine their shock and dismay when, contrary to their expectations, they only discovered a paltry 25,000. In other words, in one foul swoop, suddenly the whole foundation and tenet of their genetic determinism theory was shattered. So what they discovered instead was that, in fact, each gene could be expressed in up to 2,000 different ways, meaning a single gene could express both health and disease. And what caused it to express either health or disease was, you've guessed it, the environment in which the person was living. Therefore, the cause of the vast and overwhelming amount of illness and diseases known to man, which in reality is about 95%, is the environment which we live in. So in other words, the reason why someone gets sick is down to the environment that they live in. However, that understanding doesn't quite answer our original question, in that if the environment is the same, why does one person get sick and not the other? And here's the real answer. So whilst the environment is obviously really important, and it's imperative that we do whatever we can to improve our environment, the real key and what everything comes down to is how well your body adapts to the environment. How well can your body process the stressors in your environment? And what controls and coordinates your ability to adapt and process these stresses? You got it, your nervous system. And this is what chiropractors work to improve and balance. To simplify your nervous system, we have a rest and digest part known as the parasympathetic and a fight and flight part known as the sympathetic. And when these are in balance, we can process and adapt to our environment. But when these are out of balance, we cannot adapt. And so the adjustments or corrections that we make as chiropractors to your spines don't just move the bones back into place, but more importantly, they stimulate and help to balance your nervous systems and thus, in effect, retrain your body back into balance. So remember, you are the only one who can heal and stay well, and your body has the ability to do that. And if you work hard to improve your environment, the 3 T's which we've spoken about in many previous blogs, trauma, toxins, and thoughts, and you maintain a healthy, balanced nervous system through chiropractic care, your ability to fight illness and your susceptibility to sickness in the future will be very much improved. Now, it may not make you immune or immortal, but it certainly will help give you life to years and years to life. On that note, I'm off out to top up my vitamin D, and I'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy.